welcome to the Cooked Boots podcast. As you will see today, it is just me because we are doing a story time series. So I'm going to go first, and then my sister will follow up with another episode next week with her respective story time. Now, this was inspired by that episode that we did last week, where we were discussing They Clone Tyrone. And I happened to mention that I had gotten to some legal issues in Clayton County. Well, the Saints was asking, what happened, what happened, what happened, what happened? And, luckily I'm in a healed place, a healed space. So I don't mind sharing the story. And honestly, it also comes with some great lessons, which is what Cook Boots is all about. We're going to take the extreme and over the top. We're going to take, rich and culturally relevant content and put it through a lens that honors spirituality, that honors character, that honors principle, that honors Black community, and be our regular old funny, wild, tripped out selves. So I'm gonna tell y'all the story. It's a long story too, so I hope you're prepared. Lock in, strap in them seatbelts, whatever you need to do. It's a good story. Jesus. And I'm going to give y'all the real deal Holyfield, top to bottom. So, how did it all start? It all started because I am a type B personality. I am not type A. I'm very creative. As you all know, I'll cut my hair off tomorrow. I'll have purple hair, blue hair, pink hair. That's just one example. But I also don't like deadlines. I prefer to let things flow. I'm not super detail oriented. I will forget things if I don't write them down. I was in childcare for a very long time in my life, and it was a lot of fun for me, and it was great for me because although there was structure and routine, it was also just we played all day. You know what I'm saying? But now I work in higher education, big learning curve. But anyway, I say that to say, historically, I have not always been on top of my game when it came to details. Things like making sure that my registration card is in my car or that my sticker is on the license plate. I've gotten a whole lot of traffic tickets. One, because I lived in a neighborhood that was over policed. We'll talk about that. But two, I didn't have my shit together. I did not. Because if you have your shit together, it don't matter if they pull you over or not, unless they just looking to kill that day, which has happened. But for the most part, I believe that if you have your affairs in order, you're not riding dirty. It's not nothing they can really do unless they want a public scandal. But again, that happens. So this all started in Fulton County. I lived in off Cleveland Avenue in I don't know what zone it is, child. I don't know. But either way, I lived off Cleveland Avenue, Cleveland for the saints that know. And I would get pulled over on Pryor Road, getting off the University Avenue exit all the time. All the time. Sometimes there was nothing wrong, but sometimes it's like, I don't know, maybe because I'm husky, they thought I was a grown man. I had a short haircut. Maybe they thought, oh, that's the black man we can get today. Maybe they read my energy because I don't know about you, but when the police get behind me, I get tight. I've been through some things, okay? I've had some traumas. It don't feel good. I don't like them lights. Even if they just riding quiet behind me, I'm disturbed. I'm sure they can tell and feel that. It's got me pulled over. This particular day, I was riding home. My stuff was in order, okay? But I did not have my registration with me in the car. So they pulled me over. This is like 2019. They pulled me over. Fulton County Police pulled me over, and I basically, they were like, oh, you don't have a sticker on the back of your license plate. Now, that wasn't my fault. Somebody stole it because I didn't even know. But just, they do tell you, take a walk around your car before you get in it. I know some of us don't think that that's valuable information. I'm telling you it is. Take a walk around. Just look at your car before you get in and make sure stuff is good. I'm not saying go in and check all the lights and be Rain Man about it. But I am saying you want to know, just check your license plate right quick. Is my sticker there? Am I valid to drive? Does it look like I'm valid to drive? I was valid to drive, right? But my sticker wasn't there. I talked to the police officer. It was interesting, white male. He seemed nice, but I've had this experience before where they seem nice, but they're still going to give you a ticket. So this was what we call a moving violation. And so I don't know if you've had any experience with the Atlanta Municipal Court, Yeah, I don't know if you had any experience, but it's a racket. It's a business. Oh, Jesus, please protect me as I put this episode out there. I don't want no violence towards me. Thank you. And you see it here. Um, it's a racket. It's a racket. It's money, 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 money. All money. And I've been there a time or two before for just little, like I said, cosmetic things, maybe running a red light, not red light, running a stop sign, or not using a blinker. But anyway, I'm in there. Okay. I know them. I know them down there. So I go in and basically the guy ended up writing me a ticket. I explained to him that my registration was valid, but he said he looked in his system and it wasn't. That wasn't true. It was a lie. I know it was valid. I know it was valid. I know it was. But how can I argue when there's no sticker and I don't have the piece of paper that proves that? Why? Because I'm not being a responsible adult. That's just the truth of the matter. So I take that lick. Most times I'm pretty mature about taking my licks, okay? But this is a big ass lick to take, okay? So anyway, I go down there. At first, no, I don't go down there. Sorry, this is important. First, I am waiting to be notified about a court date. If you know, you know. I never receive a letter in the mail about when I'm supposed to go to court. Never. Never. So ultimately, I end up getting a letter after saying I missed my court date and that if I didn't, show up, that there'd be a bench warrant out for my arrest. So I caught it. Thank God. I got that letter. So I went to Atlanta Municipal Court, went to traffic court, went to traffic court, rescheduled the court date. Okay. They were like, cool. So I'm ready now. If I swear to God, y'all know there was a pandemic, the day the government shut down is the day my court date was. So I never got to go to court. I was ready. I was anxiety, up early in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Took off of work, all kind of stuff. And they canceled it. It was like, it's no government. No, it's a pandemic. It's no government. I was ready to go in there masked up. Like, let's get this, because I want them, like I said, I want them in my business. I don't want no reason for no type of government based off the transatlantic slave trade as police officers in my business, period. So I essentially have to wait. They like court date pending. It'll be rescheduled at some time. That is the worst shit ever because they're not going to notify you. They're not going to mail anything to you. And you don't know when the fuck they're going to be back and when the fuck they're going to get time to reschedule your stuff. So I'm still checking online because I figured out after this, like I realized, oh, y'all don't mail letters, but there's a website. So I'm on the website checking. And it just keeps saying pending. It said pending until like 2022. That's 2 more years. Okay. So really, 2 more years. And so I moved. I ended up moving to Clayton County. Now, for all of you people who know me, and I'm pretty transparent about my moves and what I'm doing in my life as I'm doing them. For all of you who didn't tell me about Clayton County, about ClayCo, about Riverdale. See, the Riverdale I grew up with was Archie and them, Jughead, Betty, Veronica, Moose, Mitch. That's the Riverdale I know, Riverdale High, woohoo, okay? Y'all didn't tell me that Waka Flocka Flame was from no damn Riverdale and that I should have been prepared for all the ra-ta-ta-ta. Y'all didn't tell me that Clayton County Police was a full-on, full-blown gang. You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me about the Bat Cave and Hill this and all. You didn't tell me none of that shit, but you let me move. And I moved to Clayton County. And within a week of living in Clayton County, and this is my first time ever living alone. I don't know about anybody else, maybe Arrested Development, but I had a roommate, okay? This is my first time living solo. I'm proud, I'm happy, woo, 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 found a good little place. Oh, it's not that expensive. I wonder why. And I'm riding down Riverdale Road. I'm dressed in all white because I just came from a spiritual ritual where I was drumming. Let's let you know who I am and where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? My extracurricular activities do not consist of any debauchery for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But I was coming from a wholesome event, dressed in all white, and I see the lights. Okay? So I realized that not only based upon the police officer that pulled me over, a Black gentleman, Not only did he tell me that my license was suspended, that there was a warrant, and that's an arrestable offense in Georgia. Driving with a suspended license is an arrestable offense in Georgia. And so I'm with a gentleman as well. And this might be another story time, but I just want to say the 2 times I have been arrested in my life, I was with a gentleman. And both times, the gentleman disappeared. One time, the gentleman faked a seizure and went to the hospital, and I went to jail. And the second time, this gentleman just walked away. He wasn't driving, he just walked away. So, I'm gonna leave that there. Anywho, so the police officer pulls me over. Whoop whoop. I come to realize that later that they do what is called a blitz in Clayton County, meaning they arrest a whole bunch of people at the same time for whatever the fuck they can, take your ass to jail and fill up their cells. Okay, corruption. So he arrests me, and so at first, mind you, I'm not aware. Okay, because number one, wasn't notified, wasn't no letter mailed, and at this point, and again, this is me not being on my shit. I had not checked the website, so apparently. After 2 years of consistently checking the website, they finally rescheduled the court date for the moving violation that really wasn't even my fault, but I didn't have my shit together. And I missed it. And they suspended my license. So I'm riding dirty and don't even know it. Not on my shit. Because you're a grown adult. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know. And not knowing leaves room for corruption and fuck shit to come around and blow your stuff up. Anywho, so, I'm judging this motherfucker as he walks away, the gentleman that I was with. Noted. You ain't shit. Anyway. And that's okay. No biggie. I'm built for tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Crosby. We about that life. Now, I will say this. When he told me it was an arrestable offense, there was a moment. Okay? I was like, I felt the urge to cry. Now, I wasn't cry. I didn't feel the urge to cry because I was actually sad. There was fear. It was like your heart drops. But I also am a woman, and we can cry. We can. And so there was a part of it that was like, maybe God will move it. Maybe God will move his heart. When I tell you that man looked at me with the coldest death stare, like I started to cry, and he was like, and he was so stern with his face, like, bitch, I know you're not about to cry. Get the fuck out of here. Like disgust all over his whole spirit. It dried up whatever wellage I had in my tear ducts. It just disappeared. I was like, oh, okay, well, guess I'm going to jail. I'm a plus size woman. He put me in the back of his squad car. Knees hurt, back hurt. I'm upset, but I'm just like, fuck. At least I know I have money, right? I'm like, I'm just gonna bond out, like whatever. At least I know I have money. And honestly, that's what should have happened in a healthy facility, if there is such a thing. But that ain't what happened. First, he takes me somewhere and he goes to see some. I'm not going to talk about the man. He sees his sergeant, his superior, and his superior. I overhear them talking, and he's like, "Make sure you put this make sure you word it like this and put this so they can't find any loot." Because really, the issue was probable cause. How did you pull me over? What made you run my plates? I wasn't driving erratically. I wasn't driving sporadically in any way, shape, or form. I was minding my business. What caused you to check me, other than just me being black and driving down Riverdale Road in Clayton County? Well, they were going to work on that. So I overheard that conversation. I said, oh, okay, these motherfuckers is, okay. Yes. Okay. It's a gang. And so finally he just keeps telling me, ma'am, I know you don't belong here. You're dressed in all white. I can tell, like, you're a spiritual person. You'll be in and out. It'll be really fast. Lied through his motherfucking teeth. Just lying. I get there, of course, the first thing I see on the wall is like, this is not your house. This is Sheriff Victor Hill's house. The Hilton. Welcome to the Hilton. They got on jerseys and shit with paraphernalia, the Batcave or the Hilltop, whatever the fuck it was. They got on matching non-police issue standard. Like, they spent their money. They spent their money on their personal, on the t-shirts. Like, that's how get with it is. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be a good story because now y'all making me think of some other stuff. Because I'm about to tell you about the type of people who choose to work in criminal justice. Right? And specifically correction COs. I'm gonna tell you about them because I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay, and this will be a general statement. If a hit dog don't holler, I won't hear nothing. Anywho, so they put me in. They bring me in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like gonna go through the rigmarole. I know I have money. I know I'm gonna leave because I know these people only want that dollar. Every time I went to traffic court, they would come up and be like, "Well, if you pay today, you can avoid X, Y, and Z. Or if you do our program and you pay today, you can go home." And I always pay because I want to get the fuck away from y'all. Period. I don't want to see you. You don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Take my money. I'm going home. So that in itself is a privilege because there's plenty of people who don't have not a dollar and they have to go on probation for some dumb shit like running a fucking stop sign. Whew. Anywho, so I'm in there, whatever. I've already told my number one things I'm not doing. I'm not eating a fucking thing. I'm not using the bathroom in here, and I'm not making friends. This last part is hard for me because I'm me. Of course, I'm gonna make friends. I did make friends, and one of my friends in particular, I'm not going to disclose who she is, but we're still Facebook, Instagram friends to this day. And I love you, girl. Shout out to you because she's a soldier. But anywho, maybe I'll have her on the podcast. But anywho, ooh, sorry, I just got a notification that I got some mail. I love packages. Anyway, so back to the story. See, type B. So basically, they put me through booking, processing. Now, transparently, like I said, I had been arrested before. I was concerned that was going to conflict with this, and I was going to end up in some other kind of situation. Because when you got situations, they'd be like, "Oh, we got to remand you to such and such." I didn't want don't travel me nowhere. Leave me here. Don't travel me nowhere. Let me go. But God was good, and nothing happened there. But anyway, so I'm in booking. First thing I noticed, the women correctional officers were extremely nice, extremely kind. They kept telling me, "Oh yeah, we'll get you out of here." They let me use my phone. They let me get my phone and get numbers out my phone. You know what I'm saying? And write them down and have them. And this is a place where they have to let you do a goddamn thing. So I was grateful. You know, they were asking me about like the symbols on my shirt and my jewelry and stuff like that. But we just talking up a storm. And I got arrested. It was night, so it was probably like 9:00 at night. I got booked into booking really quickly. I was put into a cell with a woman who was having a mental health crisis. She did not bother me, but it was clear that she was having a mental health crisis. And later on, she ended up stabbing another corrections officer. But so to let y'all know, she was struggling. So I call my friends. No, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to bond out first, right? This is another place. See, have your shit together. They had my purse and everything. Guess who didn't have their debit card in their purse? Me. Did not. Didn't have my card on me. Left it in the car because I had, not only, hold on, I also had my dog with me in the car. That's the Duchess. I had my car. She was at the drum circle. I had my baby in the car when I got arrested. It's all coming back to me. So that was another thing I was mad about. Like, this bitch ass nigga is going to leave. I'm like, damn it. This motherfucker going to leave. My dog and just walk away. I had to call my homeboy, Chef. I'm be transparent. Hey, Chef, thank you. There were some hands that was on this situation that helped me. Chef, Benicia, love y'all. Asada, love y'all. Real motherfuckers hold it down. They remember. Shout out to my boss, Dr. Angelita Howard. She kept this in full disclosure because I ended up missing work. I'm not going to jump the gun. Anyway, so I had to call Chef so he could come get Duchess and get my car. Duchess was still in the car. Oh, Jesus Christ. And the police officer was willing to, actually, the police officer let him come while we were still there. I'm tripping. The police officer let him come. He let me call my cousin. And Chef lived down the street from me. And so Chef came in the dead of night to come get the car and come get Duchess, take my keys, take my car home, take Duchess home, be on Duchess watch for whatever. And so then, damn, my child. Do you imagine if I had like a human child? Oh my God, I can't. Whew, this is rough. It's haha, but it's not, okay? Because it was really real in the field. And so fast forward, I'm in booking. The lady's having a mental health crisis. I'm talking to folks, whatever. Now I realize I don't have my debit card. If you know me, you know that I don't like to carry a purse. I will walk around with my keys and my card in my hand. I don't know why. I have lost so many house keys. My dad used to be so mad at me. anybody in DC could just come to our house because the number of fucking keys that they knew who it belonged to, we would just be up shit's creek. I would just buy copies. Oh, just irresponsible shit. This is why you don't smoke weed early in life. Like, don't. Like, people are like, oh, weed is not bad. Yeah, but you don't, like, if you're already a little not well, it just makes shit worse. So, especially if you're a teenager and your brain's not done developing, and that's me. So, of course, it's like, fuck, why would I think that I have my card in my purse? When do you ever put anything in your purse? You got purses because they look cute. You don't put nothing in purses. Why? Because I lose purses. So in my mind, I think that if I just keep my hands on my keys and my debit card, that the purse is like, neither, I got laying around, just sitting somewhere. I don't believe that I need a wallet or a purse. Although it's been told to me contrary many times as I had continued to lose debit cards, IDs, everything. I'd just be gone, just lost. Shout out to all my friends who cash at me money because I just didn't have nothing, nowhere. Damn. Anywho, you see a pattern here? I see it. So she's like, you can't bind out. We don't accept, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I can't go online on my phone or nothing. She's like, nah, you got to have it in hand, baby. I was like, fuck. She's like, you can get somebody to put a bail for you. I was like, I don't want nobody to put a bail for me because I can pay the whole thing. It was like $700. I could pay $700 right now and get the fuck out of here and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bond, I got to go to court, all kind of shit. This is a fucking traffic violation. Please, Jesus, let me go. No, God was like, no, you need to sit down. So I'm in there. We're moving through the process. I'm not going to sleep. What? I'm not going to sleep in this motherfucker. It's already like the sports team type paraphernalia from the officers. That freaked me the fuck out. The signs on the wall like "Welcome to the Hilton." It's like y'all are way too. No, it's never this serious. Y'all are way too lit about this. Like, why are we? Why? You fill out an order form and $35 and put your size on it so they could buy you a shirt for the jail. So you can get the hoodie with the logo y'all made. Mm-hmm. They did. Just want to speak to the culture of the rowdy shit that was unnecessary for your job. I have never. Anyway, I'll digress. So day turns to night, and night turns to fucking day, and I'm still in this bitch. I done made friends. They only put women in the cell that you're in. So they moved me to a few cells. Now I'm in the big cell because they have blitzed. So I slowly watched people come in like every 5 minutes. Another person. At the end of the day, I was in a cell with like 10 other girls. It was me, one other older woman. I saw her afterwards at the bar. She was so cool. And then we had like a whole reunion moment. It was like, were you at Clayton County College? Were you in Clayton County Jail? She was like, yeah, girl, let me buy you a drink. Okay. And then another girl who was also in there for a traffic violation. And when I tell you, these people, they were unorganized. The food, they gave me some sort of little packet, like some little neon green packet. It was like drink. It just said drink on it. Like drink. You're supposed to put it in a bottle of water and drink it. No. Some type of moldy open bologna sandwich. No. And they kept trying to, and I just got confused. They kept trying to tell me to go change out and go into housing. What? I'm leaving here. You know what I mean? Like, no. I'm out. I'm sorry. Let me just do not disturb. This is too much. I'm getting the fuck out, baby. So essentially, I am starting to realize that something is wrong, right? Because time is ticking. And I've been in here long enough to see people come. Anyone who's still staying, they can't afford to bond out. So they're all going to court. And I'm in there with like maybe 10 other girls between the age of 18 to 22. They're all very young. Okay. And each one of them one girl had a stab wound in her stomach. One girl had a concussion and she clearly had been battered, eyes swollen, almost shut. We were trying to keep her awake. People needed medication. It was just bad. You had one guard in particular who was on 10. He had like some balled up boots. His boots were cooked. Balled up boots. It looked like he had nothing in life but this. And he was going to wear that motherfucker. He was going to wear that job out, honey. Just overcompensation across the board. And so this time, and I'm just like, I'm like, hey, Crosby, because by now my homegirl Venetia I got her on the phone and she had already bailed me out. Actually, several people had been trying to, like, I think I found out I got bailed out because I called someone else and they was like, oh, somebody already did it. I was like, oh shit. So God is good, right? Do y'all know they lost me in there? They lost my file. They lost my file. I literally watched a lieutenant finally be like, why is this lady who been wearing all white? Like, the shifts have changed. I've had to advocate for myself. I have had to tell the day shift the same shit I told the night shift. That I now have to tell another day shift, right? Like, I have to say, hey, I'm no. Because they be like, oh, okay, yeah, we're about to put you in booking. You ready? I had to keep telling, hey, no, I've already paid. I'm already good to go. I'm supposed to be discharged. It got to a point where finally a lieutenant was like, brought me out the cell, me and the other woman who had a traffic violation, because both of us were good and free and clear to go. And we just keep being there, and day turns to night, night turns to day. I'm wondering, what the fuck am I not going home? And they lost me. They were like, Crosby, we know Crosby's in here. We can't find her file. We got to rebuild her file over again. What in the fuck? But it's like, when you go get your hair braided and it's going to take a long time. And there's no point in you getting upset about it. Just be still. But in my mind, I was like or when you were in school suspension and they put the clock on the wall. In my school, they had a clock on the wall that was broken. So you just had to stare at the same time all day. Psychological warfare. I was fucked up. But I held my mule. You know what I'm saying? The girls were sharing stories. I'm talking about principal character love and all that good stuff. And, they looking at me like, you don't belong here. And I'm like, baby, I know I don't belong here. I know. But you never know. Anybody can end up anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm no better than, but I don't belong here. You don't belong here. No one belongs here. Especially after the stories they told me. That's another story time. I understand people like, oh, people lie. They don't have no reason to lie to me. We were having a full-on healing circle in that cell. These babies, each one of them had aligned themselves with a man that violated them physically, that took advantage of the economic situation and thought that it was not robbery to beat them up, and they ended up getting arrested because the man owned the property. Clearly bloodied, battered, stabbed up, and the police still arrested them and would do shit like, oh, y'all want to go to Waffle House before we take you in? And these girls just were looking for guidance. Like, if I were an exploitive person, you would absolutely be able to traffic these. They wanted to exchange Instagrams. They was looking for help. It was horrible. It was horrible. And so once we all get clear that they've lost me in the system, there's this panic. And even the staff is panicking and they're rushing and they're trying to figure out how. And it still took at least like 10 more hours. Still, the shift changed again. And I was still in there. I didn't get out until whatever day it was, 2 days later, I didn't get out until 3:00 in the morning. And this is the gag, right? Well, this is another gag because I'm gagged the whole time, just cooked, done. Another gag. They released me and the other woman who was there for a traffic violation that was able to bond out. They released us both at the same time. We were so happy. And they released us with a bunch of grown men. Now, that's not an issue, but it's 3:00 at night or in the morning, the witching hour, which is usually a good thing for me, but not in this situation. It's pitch black. If you've ever been to Clayton County Jail, it is pitch black. It is not well lit. And I don't know who the fuck these people are that you're letting me out with at 3 a.m. unsupervised. And so what happened? I was in a compromising situation with an older male who, and I don't care what y'all think about somebody being plus size. Grown man strength is grown man strength. I could try to beat the shit out of you, but there's some people who have a thrill of a challenge and they see me. We don't know what he was in here for. I still don't know what he was in here for, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. I walked down because I have to wait for an Uber now. My phone only has the amount of power it had when I got arrested. So it's like on the yellow, 10%. I'm like, Jesus, please just let this Uber come. So this man's there. He's trying to make small talk. I don't want to talk to you. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been in here for 2, 3 days. I stink. Like it's just this. I want to go the fuck home. Don't talk to me. He wanted to chat. And so finally he's like, well, can I see your phone? I said, no, sir. He's like, well, you think you can call me an Uber? Now, I want you to be very clear about who I am. I'm a very generous, giving person, right? I asked myself in this moment, and I used discernment. Is it wise? But he had a predatory energy about him. He had the way he was talking, when he was like, even the conversation, he was talking to me about sexual things before asking to see my phone. He was asked me if I had a boyfriend, like all those kinds of stuff. No, you're already violating boundaries, but I'm not. It's just us out here, and I'm trying to make it the fuck home to my dog. Okay. And so eventually, he gets aggressive. He's like, so you're not gonna let me use your phone? I said, no. He walked very close to me and said, you mean to tell me, so you're not gonna let me use your phone? Instead of answering him again, because right now he's in striking distance, I go back to jail. About face. I'm going back inside. I go back inside. I let them know, hey, y'all let me out with somebody who's making me uncomfortable. I cannot wait here for my Uber. They were like, fine. So finally, and the Uber came. I took that long ass march back down that hill, got in the Uber, went to Chef's house, got my keys, went home. I had PTSD like a motherfucker. My sister came the next day for moral support. I was crying. I didn't want to go outside because I want to also be very clear. Clayton County police are very strategic about where they set up. There was a police car like every block, or every, like, on Highway 38 or 85. Like they just be positioned with lights on, just sitting. You know what I'm saying? They do checkpoints. They do all this stuff. It's a very heavily policed area. I understand crime, but at the same time, it's very intimidating, especially when they just snatched you up off some, like for me, just snatched me up and lost me in the system, kept trying to tell me to dress out, kept trying to tell me to, go into population. If I had gone in population and not really advocated for myself in a very calm, like if I had gotten any kind of emotional or upset about them repeatedly over and over and over again, jumpsuit, dress out, dress out, dress out, and keep clearly communicating, hey, I've already paid bail. I'm waiting to be released. I'm waiting to be released. I'm waiting to be released. It was just a grinding over and over and over again. Had I folded as far as maturity, who knows what the fuck would have happened? Who knows? And so just getting out and then being surrounded by the police, I realize I'm not in fucking Kansas anymore. The gunshots, just the whole thing. It's like I had to call one of my brothers, like, I don't feel normal I feel fearful. I don't feel safe because I don't know what could happen. My freedom was gone. My freedom was gone. Just like that, like, and it was, be very clear, there was many parts where I was the catalyst of all of it. But at the same time, the system's corruption was able to take root and almost have me in a situation where I could have been lost in the system for a lot longer than I really was. Okay? So I'm shooketh. So my sister comes over for moral support. We got to go to the bail bondsman. They just like to show up to court. I'm like, cool. Court isn't scheduled for another year. Another year. My lawyer smelled like a pack of Marlboros or Newports or whatever the cigarettes are, Camels. Came to court, but he knew everybody. They were trying to say that my license was still suspended, even though I had already rectified that. They were still trying to say her license is suspended. I was like, y'all crazy? And I had to end up paying like $1,400 in court fees. Okay. And then when I got to court and I saw the line, I hope I still have the picture because I'll post it. The line inside court that day was just the evidence of the blitz that took place, of how many people they just round up for whatever reason. Justified, not justified, big deal, not big deal. And now all people have to come to court, pay their court fees. It was people in there with their kids. They still had drool come out their mouth, sleep in their eyes. Some, you could tell were actively, recovering from whatever took place the night before. Some professional, some not, some, It was just like, damn. And it was just, and most people were just poor. It looked poor, like just look like they ain't got whatever y'all about to ask them to get. Then they tell you they're gonna arrest you again, and once you get in there, it's a sign that says if you don't have a belt on and your pants up, we're gonna take you back to jail. What the like? All of this is just like a lot. Ultimately, I was able, thank God, to be able to pay the court fees, pay my lawyer fees, which is like $5,000, and then this just when I thought it was all free and clear. This year, my car insurance renewed, and Geico said, uh, your insurance is going to be $560 a month if you'd like to renew. And I said, what in the fuck? Why? Why? And they were like, oh, it seems that there was some sort of traffic driving with suspended license situation. I was like, oh my God, the gift that keeps on giving. It's like fucking chlamydia. They just, so in order for me to have the same exact insurance, I got to pay $200 more a month. It's a recession. Do y'all know that tomatoes are $10 and that toilet paper is $30 and that milk is $50? Do y'all know what the fuck is going on here? And I got to pay more money? I got to pay more money over some shit that really inefficient systems in conjunction with my poor adulting caused. I didn't steal this sticker off my license plate. Someone else did. I didn't have my registration in the car, right? I did not notify me of a court date. Someone else didn't do that. But I didn't do my due diligence as thoroughly as I needed to again. Okay? I didn't lose me in Clayton County system. Somebody else did. But I let the motherfuckers get me. I did. So, like now I'm looking for a house. I'm like, I will never live in Clayton County. Ever. You got me fucked up. Not doing it. Never. Sorry. Not gonna happen. Won't be back. Never. Never. And so, like I said, so it's just like a ripple effect, a domino effect of how poor planning, poor execution, not being on top of your shit, understanding that we didn't create the system, but we have to exist in it, and we don't need to give people any reason to be in our business. We don't have to give them any reason. You're not lame. You're not square for paying your bills on time. You're not like, be fiscally responsible. I shouldn't be drinking nothing. I shouldn't be smoking them. I shouldn't be out here shopping spreeing not a goddamn thing if my stuff is not in order. It's just because then a lesson like that manifests is going to rearrange and right size you. And now it's time. It's like, are you ready or not? You going to show up or not? Because thank God for my friends to take care of my dog. Thank God for my friends to put up bail for me because I didn't have my debit card with me. Thank you. Thank God. But I still had to sit in that motherfucker. I had to sit in there. And then now, to this day, I'm paying high-ass insurance to Geico because of that whole situation. So more money. All because I didn't have my registration in the car. That's the start. That's the start of all of it. So, ironically, I'm about to graduate this month with my life coach certificate, specifically geared toward working with people who have been incarcerated. It's called a Justice Involved Care Program. I fortunately was able to take the program through my job, Morehouse School of Medicine. Shout out to Morehouse School of Medicine. Shout out to Dr. Angelita Howard for one, allowing me to take the course, for two, not firing me, for going ghost on work when I was arrested, for understanding. You know what I'm saying? For being a black woman who was supporting a fellow black woman who was like, okay, girl, as long as you're okay, So there's all these other ways that God has buttressed this experience, but my God, what the fuck? And then I just heard they about to release Victor Hill. God, please, Jesus, no. Please. They was riding for him even when he was gone. They was riding for him. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I've never seen anything. I have never seen. I know the police are gangs. I know that, like, by definition, Democrats, Republicans, gang. But I ain't never seen them with no paraphernalia, with the bandana. I never seen them with the colors, the gang colors, and they loud and proud with that. And they can keep it. Baby, you don't have to worry about me. So, it all worked out with lots of grief and stress. I I stayed inside and just ate. I was going through a really rough time. In hindsight, I didn't even realize just how much I was struggling, but I really was real bad. I felt very isolated and very at risk of harm and danger. No one wanted. I'm gonna just leave it there. That's the story of how I got arrested in Clayton County, held for 3 days after bailing out within a couple hours, and why I will never go the fuck back. Thanks for watching Cook Boots. Peace.